Okay, so this is part four of why I left my marriage and be careful who you marry or date. So as I was saying, um, yeah, I've tried to record part four before, but then it kept getting deleted. I've recorded this a couple of times now, and it keeps getting deleted. But then God is good, and the truth will eventually come out in one way or another. Um, we are in a season of exposure, and there's no way that God's will can be hindered by human beings or the devil or anyone, because God is above all. His power is above all, right? So, yeah, fast forward, we went to an event, to a family event, and I met most people there at the family event, and it seemed like everyone was welcoming. So I was happy, I was calm, I was chilled, no problem. We ate and everything, and it was all cool. And then on the way back from the event, his siblings were sleeping in the car, and it was me, him, and his mom that were awake, right? And then his mom said to us that, asked us if we were aware that since they hadn't paid anything for me yet, I'm not allowed to cook like at their house or touch anything in the kitchen, right? Or make food in terms of cooking and all of that. So I was like, oh, okay. I was not aware of that because I also grew up like in a more town area, and we were not really well versed with like the cultural things and so on and so forth. Because it was her household, I was like, okay, cool, no, it's your household. I'll respect your wishes and I'll respect your culture as you say that that's how it's done. It's fine. And mind you, initially when I first met her, the first few days, she had told me that they are not cultural people. They are just people that just don't really follow any religion, any not religion, any tradition or anything. They don't follow any traditions. That's what she told me. But then a few months in after that event, she was telling me about pots and the fact that they have to pay for me to be able to touch her kitchen and cook in a house, right? Okay, fine, and that is a thing apparently. So I was like, okay, no, cool, fine, no problem, no issue, right? So fast forward, so I stopped doing anything in the kitchen aside from like washing my plate after eating, obviously. And if I found any dishes in the sink, I'd wash that. If I had messed up the floor, I'd clean, obviously cleaning after myself, right? Respectfully so. So initially, I was actually bringing my own lunch tin, like to the house, because he would fetch me from work, right? So it's either I would come with leftovers from my lunch, or I would bring my own lunch tin, or I would buy food. I would pass by Pick and Pay or ShopRite and buy food, right? And then I saw that it seemed to be like a problem, because his mom then said that, okay, no, you're welcome to eat with us, right? Um, and then I was like, okay, thank you for that. It's fine. I will eat with you guys. So, but then when I started eating with them is when it seemed like an issue started, because then his siblings, like I would notice that his siblings would be like offish, like towards me. Sometimes I would greet them, they would keep quiet when I'd come to the house. And yeah, it was just like it would be tense when I would walk into the house sometimes. Um, I would greet them sometimes, and then their mom would have to say, Senti is greeting you, and then they would like respond only after the mom said something. And initially it seemed like, um, you know, a miscommunication or something, because that's what I thought. I thought, okay, it must be a miscommunication. She's probably still going to tell them what she told me and her son about the whole thing of me not cooking and whatnot. Because I felt like it was probably because I'm not cooking. I'm coming there more often. I'm eating with them, but I'm not cooking. So but initially I thought that it was communicated with everyone, right? But it was not. So the intention started arising and all of that, and eventually he came to me one night and he told me that, okay, no, my sisters have a complaint that you're not cooking. So since you're not cooking, they say that you can't eat if you're not cooking. So I was like, being that it's not my house, it wasn't my house, right? And it was their house. I must say I was hurt a bit at the time, but at the same time, I understood in a way. But then I was hoping that it would all be resolved, which it could have just been resolved by their mom sitting us down and like explaining what she had told me and her son about me not cooking because of what she had told us, right? So now I was just in the middle of this situation, which was very awkward because now on one side, here I am, I love this man, I love spending time with him, I love being there, and I enjoyed spending time with his sisters as well initially. But then like when things started becoming tense, it would become so awkward that when I would get to the house, I would like greet them, and then like I would mostly just like go to his room and like chill with him and stuff, because I had noticed that it, it things were not the same as before, right? So I was trying to like not be in their faces too much because I didn't know how to address it. You can't just come to someone's house and like start addressing things. They have to address the situation. But him and his mom just left it. They didn't like tell his siblings that what she had told me and what we had agreed to. They just left it, and things started getting worse and worse and worse. And I started feeling like by me coming there, I was like a problem to them. So, and when I would speak to him about it, like I tried to speak to him one time and tell him that, listen, things don't feel right. Like, can we like sit down and talk and whatnot? And then he would just say, no, you came here to me, right? You came here to see me. So don't mind or worry about what they think or what they feel and whatnot. But then to me, it was like, but this is wrong. This can just be resolved so easily, because it's not like I decided to not cook or whatnot. It's something that your mom told me. If she just tells your sisters what she told me and the same thing that she told us, then this can easily be resolved, right? So this tension now went on for months and months and months and months, right? And then he started talking about wanting a baby, right? So, and initially I was very uncomfortable with the topic of having a baby, because at the time I was still like 27. I still wanted to do certain things like travel and like do a lot of things before actually having a baby. But then I could tell at the same time that he really, really wanted to have a baby. So he kept bringing the topic up bit by bit, like he would constantly like bring that topic up of wanting to have a baby. And his mom also mentioned it at some point, that she would love to have a grandchild and whatnot and whatever. So I felt like I didn't really have much of a choice, because I was so fond of his mom at the time. I was very fond of her because to me, she seemed nice. She seemed welcoming. She seemed all of that. So I was quite fond of her, and I loved him. So like I was pushed into a corner of like, okay, they say they want a baby and he's talking about marriage and so on and so forth. So why not just try to have a baby?